friends, I'm Erin with Happily Ever Allergy, and in this video I'm going to show you lots of different options for making gingerbread houses that fit your family's allergy needs. That first Christmas with my son's food allergies was so overwhelming. If you are in this position this winter, I encourage you to give yourself some grace and know that it is okay to have this year look a little different. You are in a really tough spot, and a non-traditional holiday season just might be what you need. What's most important is that you make positive memories with your family. So it doesn't matter if you're making that typical gingerbread house or if you're going to look at Christmas lights instead, because that doesn't involve food. Making choices of what's most important for your family is what allows us to have enough bandwidth to do those fun things that are important. Let's talk gingerbread houses. There are so many companies that are recognizing that allergy families need new options for their kiddos when it comes around the holidays, and it is awesome. Every store you go to, you're finding all these different choices. The company Yum Earth is a top 9 free gingerbread kit online. So if you need something that is gluten-free, dairy-free, free of all of the standard allergens, this is a great option for you. I recommend that you go ahead online now and look for it, because these specialty products do sell out very quickly in the season, and so that's something that you want to look into. And if it's something that you've missed for this year, you can go ahead and look forward to it early in the fall next year when they first come out with it, because I know those things are hard to come by. Also, if you need a gluten-free gingerbread option, there are recipes online of bakers who have done the legwork for you and have found really cool recipes for making even your own cutout cookies and things like that. Me personally, I love to bake, but cutout cookies and cutout gingerbread house pieces that I bake myself, I find extremely challenging. And so that's something that I choose not to do for myself, just to save bandwidth for the things that I find more fun. Craft stores are having lots of cool gingerbread themed crafts. So for example, maybe your child is gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free, and you don't want to spend the money on a Yum Earth gingerbread house. You can go ahead and you can purchase just a gingerbread shaped house that's made out of wood, and you could paint it. And just be aware that, paint is something that your child could be allergic to also. If there's a wheat problem or corn or things like that, double check the paint ingredients too. That's something I had never even thought of at first when my son first had allergies and we were avoiding wheat, and I realized that Play-Doh, normal Play-Doh, wasn't an option for him. So anyways, just always be aware of the ingredients in your craft supplies as well. I also saw on Hobby Lobby they had little foam gingerbread houses where you just glue on the little foam pieces. And if you have a toddler, like a really small toddler, that could be an awesome idea. There's very little mess. You can put it on your shelf. You can enjoy it year after year because you don't have to throw it away. And so that would be a really cool choice also. If you are able to eat wheat and soy, and you don't have an issue with cross-contamination warning labels to other dairy, eggs, or nuts, which I know I'm giving a lot of qualifications here on if it can work for you, but Target has their favorite day line of products out right now in the stores with tons and tons of cute little options for gingerbread house making. They had row houses and football stadiums and all sorts of neat things that you could make out of pre-made packaged cookies, and all the treats and decorating items are in the package too. And so that is a really cool choice. And I was shocked by how many choices there really were. So again, you would have to be comfortable with those cross-contamination warnings and be able to eat wheat as well. Walmart is selling Oreo-based houses and little train sets, and those also have wheat and soy in them, and has a cross-contamination warning for milk and eggs. So if that fits your food allergy requirements, you can head on out to Walmart. You can probably also order it online for pickup. What did we ever do for Walmart pickup? I tell you, it's amazing. If you are able to eat wheat and soy in your house, my absolute favorite budget-friendly option for making gingerbread houses is making them out of graham crackers. The few reasons I really love this is, one, it's much more inexpensive than the prepackaged gingerbread houses, and also you can customize them to whatever you want. So in this case, I am making just small gingerbread houses because I'm going to put them on shelves in my family room. And what I did is I went through the aisles of Dollar Tree and I just looked at all the labels when I didn't have kiddos with me, and I pulled out all the bright, colorful candies that my kids were able to eat safely. And I don't worry about if they like them. The goal is not for them to eat them all. So in this case, the spice drops that my kids think are disgusting and too spicy work perfectly because I don't want them eating all this candy as it is. And so, but they are safe for them. And so I went ahead and grabbed them. The other reason I really love doing these houses is because I glue the graham crackers together with hot glue. And the reason I do that is because we leave them up all winter long to be able to enjoy on our bookshelves. They are really neat. The kids enjoy seeing them. And so by hot gluing them together, you are avoiding all the travesty of what happens when you're partway through your build and the whole thing falls because your icing wasn't strong enough. And so that works really well for us. Here is the lineup of all the ingredients we're going to use for making our gingerbread houses. So what I did was I decided I was going to make graham cracker gingerbread houses this year. And I knew that the ones at Aldi are pretty inexpensive, and so I went and grabbed those. And when we look at the package, they have just wheat and soy as the top allergens, which we are able to have both of those. And as of this year, this is the first year, we have been able to have egg. So that is super exciting when it comes to baking. If you have an egg allergy, I'm so sorry. It is hard for some things. There's a lot of also great substitutions that you can do also. So not everything here contains just wheat and soy. The icings in particular do contain egg. So the meringue in this frosting is what makes it so strong. And so this is the Favorite Day line from Target. When I'm first assembling my house, the first thing I decide is what I want to build it on. I've done many years where I've stacked a couple paper plates together and then I cover it with tin foil. The reason I cover it with the foil is my kids really enjoy covering the entire area around their gingerbread house with frosting, and they decorate the whole landscape area. And this way you know that your paper plate won't fall apart after a little bit. One thing I'm going to do this year is cut cardboard to fit on my shelf. The reason I want to do that is because last year we left them on a low shelf in our family room for everybody to enjoy looking at. However, my youngest child kept going by and sampling all of the candy throughout the following weeks. And so even though the candy was safe for him to eat, eating hard, stale gumdrops and all the things weeks after build just is not ideal. So I'm cutting down my platform pieces out of Amazon boxes that I have sitting around from all of my deliveries for Christmas. And I'm going to cut them down, cover them with foil, and then glue my gingerbread house on top of it. When it comes to putting your frosting on your houses, there are a few different things you can do. Like I said, I'm using the tubes this year from Favorite Day, but if you're making a homemade frosting or using one in a tub, it can be a lot easier if you help your kiddos out by putting it either in a piping bag or in a Ziploc bag, zip top bag, I should say. So what I do is I take the frosting and I scoop out a good amount, and then I put it down in the corner of a Ziploc bag. So then I'll go back and add more in. But in this case, you try to get all the air out from around the frosting and push it towards the corner. Then when your kiddos are ready to frost, you can squeeze down, you see here, twist the bag behind the ball of frosting, okay? And then right when you're ready, go ahead and snip the corner of the bag, and that will give them a nice small area to work with and to dot frosting where they want to on their gingerbread houses. And so this is really helpful. Then you don't have to go out and buy special things for it, and also you can easily just refill the bag when they run out. That way if you have a kiddo that's going a little gung-ho, you can help slow them down a little bit with their frosting dispersal. And it works super well. You have the things most likely that you need, and it's easy. I would recommend you start with a small snip on the end of your bag. You can always go ahead and make it bigger if they want. By the time my kids are done with their houses, normally we're snipping a bigger chunk off the bag so they can flood the whole grassy area around their houses to make it look cool, or like snowballs or snowmen or whatever things they choose to create that time. Let's get to building. Here's all the leftover bits. This is what happens when you drop your graham crackers unloading them from the car. So it's important to buy one or maybe two spare boxes just in case. But I made it. We made it to the end. This is why I always do the assembly of the graham cracker houses when my kids are not around, because This particular house got some extra architectural details with a flat part of the roof. I think it might actually be the one that everyone likes the most when we're all said and done. Sometimes those mistakes become happy accidents. All right, friends, here's our finished lineup of graham cracker gingerbread houses. My favorite thing about doing these above everything else is that the kids get to be really creative with what they choose to do with their house. It's not a preset, amount of candy. We can do more or less of different things. And their creativity and individuality really shines through. You can tell who our Paw Patrol fan is the most here. It's just super fun. I hope you've learned a few tips to help make your gingerbread house building a little bit easier this year. Please remember, you can still have your happily ever after even with your food allergies. Thanks for watching.